Here. So a bit of a uranium update. I've had a couple of questions. Just remember guys, this is just the beginning and there'll be a bit of volatility. But let's just go through why we're investing in uranium. So I've got my notes here. So we've got demand from clean energy transition and AI. They need electricity. And solar and wind don't cut the mustard. Okay, the World Nuclear Association forecasts a 28% increase in demand by 2030 and nearly double by 2040. Okay, on the supply side, you've got Kazatomprom, which provides 50% of the uranium, is looking at cutting its production forecast. And we've had a decade of low investment in new capacity, which has led to a structural supply deficit. I reckon there's new mines are needed. It's about 6 to 8 large-scale projects of 60 to 80 million pounds annually by 2035. And Kaza is only 30 million pounds. That's what's needed to close the gap. But it takes 10 to 15 years. You can't just dig a hole. From digging a hole to producing, 10 to 15 years. So long-term uranium prices remain steady at about $80, because a lot of deals aren't done at spot prices. They're like the utility company and the producer agree a price. They reckon that will increase to $90 to $100 by next year, and $150 to $200 long term. Okay, so there's a bit of a tailwind behind uranium, and you've got a beautiful cup and nice handle. So look, that's just you can't ask for a better setup. So that was the monthly chart. On the weekly chart, still look at that. Break, test, up. Okay, so onto the ETF. So we've got the URNM ETF, which is big holding in Cameco and Kaza and the Sprott. And so we'll go through them, but you see they're heavily weighted to the big boys. So how's that looking? Look at that pin bar. Go to a daily. So that was yesterday. So it went all the way down here and then finished back up there. I don't know, someone wanted to get out. Anyway, you can't get a much more bullish setup than that, I tell you. Right on resistance line. Doing the benchmark as I have to. URNM over the King, MVR. Still looking good. So URNM set to outperform MVR. As expected, URNM is one of the ninjas. If you watch my benchmarking video, which I'll put at the end of this one. So he's a good ninja. All right. So Cameco. So second largest uranium producer, in bed with Westinghouse, building nuclear reactors, doing gangbusters. It's fine. If it just all it needs to do is just consolidate. You don't want, ideally you don't want the, well, if you do want one of these, but after one of these you want consolidate. It's like, look at the gold price. Kaza. So that, like, you can't get a more bullish looking chart than that. So then we've got the Sprott physical. So this is Mr. Sprott went into, he's just so this ETF just holds physical uranium. So look, it's already pricing it at the 900s. Triple U. So leading US based producer of uranium and rare earths. It's beautiful. Look at that. Broke resistance coming down, just sitting there. Perfect. Deep yellow is in the URNM. for some reason, even though it's not a producer. Big player in the development space in Namibia. So look at that. Look where it used to be. So that looks fine. Consolidating at the highs is good. Okay, Atom is the other ETF you can get here on the ASX. So it's just got Kamiko, but it's got some players in there that are also trying to build the small nuclear reactors, like SMR. Come down to support, looks fine. Then Updatw, it's another one of these trying to produce, create nuclear reactors. So that's just in for consolidation, that's fine. My preference is for URNM. This is URNN over Atom. So I think it will outperform, because I think Westinghouse will dominate that space of nuclear reactor buildings. But I could be wrong. Just my opinion. Okay, my favourite exposure to the game is URNJ. You can only get it in America though, but it's not that hard to do. And why I like it is because, well, it's got your mid-tier producers in there. And your mid-tiers, once the big boys run, the mid-tiers go. And they've got a whole splattering of shares in it, much more low, and a whole bunch of Aussie ones in here. So we'll go through. So technically that chart looks beautiful. Beautiful. So this is URNJ over URNM. So you can see it's already started. So it's broken the declining wedge. So I think URNJ will continue to outperform. Okay, so the stocks in there. So in order of basically weighting. So UEC, Uranium Energy Corp. So that's going. Denison. So that's going. NXC. Development Company Canada, that's going. So the first one of ours, Paladin. So you've had plenty of goes to buy this when it drops down. So for now, it's just consolidating at these highs. So that's bullish. That's bullish. So that's fine. If you're in it, you hold it for sure. If you're not in it, we have plenty of warnings. Again, just buy URNJ, then you don't have to worry about it. It's not that hard to open an American account. Boss Energy. So yeah, I said that was a buy last week. I still think that's a buy. Bannerman. So these are Aussie ones, and they're all in that URNJ ETF. So they're doing a DFS, so they're in Africa. That looks beautiful. We've got Lotus. I had some subscribers. I know there's one subscriber. I don't know when he bought it. He must have bought it. Yeah, I don't know. But he's been hating it. He's hated looking at this chart. I told him last week you'll be able to look at it every day. I bet you he is too. Mick, that's him. So that looks good, Mick. Don't worry. Alligator Energy. So another developer in Africa. So that looks fine. Can come back here, test, then go again. You've got Elevate, advancing towards production. Again on the ASX. Broke, come down, found support, next move up. Peninsula Energy, so it's another one in the ETF on the ASX. Had a bit of boss and a bit of issues, production issues, and got slammed. That's why you want an ETF. And Berkeley Energia, on the ASX and in the ETF. Looks fine, looks beautiful. We've got Alligator Energy. So Explorer in South Australia, Northern Territory. Declining wedge, hasn't broken it. I'm pretty sure it'll join the party. Okay, so they're the last of the ones in the ETFs. Then we've also got some other Aussie ones. So we got NXG, next developer in Canada. So they've broken out of their consolidation. Could they come back to $11? Definitely. But it looks fine. If it drops below $10, then you start panicking. Then we got Infinity Resources. So they're an explorer. Portland Creek Uranium Project, so in Canada. That looks pretty nice. Bit of a cup, bit of a handle. I'd say that looks pretty sexy actually. Alright, so that's your uranium wrap. URNM for the Aussie one, or my preferred one, URNJ. It's a ninja, part of my ninja pack. Alright, thanks for that. Let us know your thoughts, and if you've got any other uranium stocks that you're exposed to. Alright, see ya.